On today's episode, we have a Nissan Altima and the window won't roll down. It's the same Altima we used in that video. Let's jump in and see what's wrong. We got some parts from Rock Auto. Let's go ahead and open them up. Let's try again. There we go. We have got a new regulator with motor. Let's go ahead and install this thing. Alright, so I actually had this apart the other day, trying to figure out what was going on. Determined it's a regulator, just binding up. So, partially got it taken apart. Pulled this off. This sets in there. It's just got some clips that you have to pop out of there. Then we'll have to remove these two screws, and there's one right back here. Now, I had to pop that out of there with just a little pocket screwdriver. Once we get these three out, we can disconnect the power to our switch, and then we'll just pull the door off. After that, it's just clips that are pushed in that hold the thing on. So let's go ahead and get started. Now I'm just going to try to get behind this panel and pop the clips. Once you do that, lift up, panel will come down. Now we could take these cables off to get this out of our way. I'm going to see if I can do this with just leaving it hanging down here. Got our window motor here. Our regulator actually bolts these 4 bolts to this plate, so we'll have to take all the screws all the way around out. One thing I do want to do before I get too far into this is I want to roll this window down a little bit. The screws that hold this regulator to the glass, you actually have to have the window down a little bit to be able to access those. And now what I've done, I unplugged the window motor and I popped the wiring harness off this plate just to kind of let it swing down out of the way. Then what we're gonna have to do, coming right in here, there's 3 bolts that hold the window motor onto that regulator. We'll go ahead and get those off so we can get the window motor off this side, then start tackling that regulator. Now that we've got the window motor off, what we need to do is remove these 2 bolts. These are what hold the glass on. So we're going to remove these, and then we're going to slide the glass all the way up, and we're going to tape it. So that tape will hold it up while we get this regulator out and get that new one back in. Okay, I've got both of these screws out here that bolted the glass to the actual regulator. Then what I did is I slid the glass all the way up, just threw some tape on it, hold that thing up while I get that new regulator in here. Now one thing you want to be sure of is that the window stays in these same tracks up and down. If it gets out of track, then when you put the new one in, it's not going to work right. Now we've got the window motor bolted up to the regulator. We've got to get our plate put back on here. Now the tricky part is getting these holes to line up with the regulator to bolt it back in. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to get this put up here, and then we'll pull up and down on this window to line these holes up to get our screws started. Now we got our 4 bolts into our regulator. We're going to run back around, put all our bolts back in here, and then test it and see if it works. Now that we've verified that the window works, we'll go ahead and put it back together. Start by snapping all our wiring clips back in. And we'll get our door panel put back on. Now we're going to put the door panel back on. Gotta make sure we feed these all through where your switch goes. But then there's this, which is a light at the bottom of the door. We need to make sure we feed it through as well. So this one goes right down here at the bottom, and these will feed right through here. Then it hooks on at the top, pushes down, then go around, snap our clips all back in. And we'll come back, put our screws into these, and then we can get the door put back together. Alright, then we just had to come back, snap our armrest on, put our plate back in here, and then put this light back in place. Now after this replacement, we need to go through and relearn the auto up, auto down feature on this. To do that, all we have to do is just roll it down and then roll it back up. Now, when it gets back to the top, you're going to want to hold that switch for about 4 seconds. That will auto learn the window position.